Subject to Change, a sustainability podcast. Today, a discussion with George and David.
Troy is right opposite the canal there in Waterford.
Right.
And if you've ever been in a lock with a diesel boat, the noise and the smell is terrible.
Terrible.
Solar boats, quiet, no smell. And a friend points out that people die every year from carbon monoxide from boats that use fossil fuels.
Yeah.
The Waterford docks, the start of the Erie Canal.
The majority of boats that go up and down the Erie Canal are big, honking, smelly diesel, rich people's yachts.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you go up and down the canal in a solar electric boat, people talk to you. You can talk as you go by. They can hear you. You can hear them. Somebody's fishing and you talk about, whether they've caught this or that or the other thing. It's really awfully nice.
I've experienced that because I was kayaking past your boat one day and just paddled along beside for a while and chatted. It was so nice to see.
Yeah, in a way, that's a throwback to the way the canal used to be, because now I have to say, as somebody who's been a cruising yachtsman and various things, that I have a certain amount of affection for diesel engines, even as I realize that they're not great for the environment or the people around them. But there used to be a rewatered section of the old horse canal out at Rome. It's not there anymore, but they had a boat and they had a team that hauled that boat along.
Really?
And when you got on that boat, you realize something. Every boat that has an engine, not counting solar boats, vibrates a lot, resonates a lot. It's a big resonating chamber. And you never get away from that as long as the engine is running. On an animal-drawn boat, the motor was 100 yards up the towpath, and you just slid along with no sound. And an electric boat is the closest thing to that you can get.
It's again back to the idea of power and potential. Once we had the ability to ignore nature, we felt it was our right to ignore nature. And I think that now is a time of reconnecting with nature. This is my soapbox. It's all about understanding nature's systems and how nature works so that we can do smart things with nature. And most buildings are built to look pretty, and then we have an engineer make them work, and we do it all in defiance of nature. We're trying to separate ourselves from nature. It's not effective for us. It's not effective for nature. We're discovering all these things now, and I think the solar electric boat is just one clear example of how boating can be better when we're working with nature's systems. And then just the idea, the one thing that I think is really compelling is that you could sing songs on that boat, George, and you could hear them.
Electric gives us silent running.
I've noticed that being on a bicycle, I learn much more about the places that I travel through because there's a connection. There's also a sound connection.
Absolutely.
There's also a slightly less speed, which gives you a chance to absorb some of the things. And I've always felt the same way about kayaking, and I expect that would translate to a solar electric boat. You know the sounds, right?
Yeah, I'm beginning to think about solar electric boats on a very personal level here.
It would be great to have solar electric boats in the Netherlands and in Venice, and it's time to change the world, David.
Mm-hmm.
What's the most important topic to you? David, I'd like to ask you first.
Okay. I love it because there is enough solar power hitting every building to power that building. Solar power is plentiful. It can do all the kinds of stuff that we need done. And if we were just using our heads, we would use that instead of fossil fuels. The three things that keep all people alive are air, water, and food. The oxygen in the air comes from solar energy. Fresh water we all need fresh water, is distilled by the sun.
Yep.
All our food is from the sun.
Yeah.
This has been Subject to Change, a sustainability podcast.
It was fun. Thank you.
And I'm running off to order some solar cells right now. I'm going to play.
Oh, perfect.
Let me know when
I'm
I
not
can
kidding.
Order a
David.
whole solar electric boat.
That'll come next.
End credits. Thank you to David Borton and George Ward. Interviewers are Jody Smits-Anderson and Lauren Stanek.